Here we go, and I'll share my screen quickly. Okay, can you all see it? Yeah?
Yes, we
Okay. Once again, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon, discovering a little bit more about the Amalfi Coast. Some of you already know me. For those who don't, just a few words about me. My name is Elisa, and I work as Senior Project Manager for EspressoXperience DMC, and together with my colleague Jenny, we are the main contacts for the German market. EspressoXperience is part of a well-established Italian company operating in the mice business since the 1992. We are a team of multilingual staff, and we do have offices in Milan and Rome, but we do have local bases also in Amalfi Coast, in Apulia, Sardinia, and Sicily, that give us a creative and operative hand on the different projects. In the past, something that I wanted to put forward as well is that in the past few months, we've been working on different incentive programs with sustainable and green elements, because we feel that these will be a more and more important factor in the decision-making process moving forward. So that's something that we want to highlight as well in the next steps. Sorry, something wrong with my presentation. Okay, to start with the introduction of the Amalfi Coast, we created a little identikit, a little bit like we did for the previous one for Apulia, just to describe what we think would be the perfect fit in terms of traveler that would enjoy this special part of Italy. So the Amalfi Coast only stretches for about 30 miles, but in these 30 miles there is really a condensed variety of things that are quite unique. So ranging from striking nature, because here you can find, for instance, the Vesuvio volcano. You can find cultural elements such as the Pompeii and Ercolano excavations. You can find striking natures, you know, I'm talking about blue water of the Mediterranean Sea on one side with the amazing islands like Capri. And then on the other side, the rocks, the cliffs, colorful villages. So, you know, very different types of landscape, all concentrated in this very small area. This area is also most famous for what we call La Dolce Vita, as you know, of course. So you can imagine like winding, narrow roads going around the colorful villages that stretches between the sea and the mountains. So very, very unique. Of course, this is also an area that is quite trendy. So, you know, for those who want to entertain themselves in a little bit of celebrity spotting, that's really the place to be, because, you know, that lots of photo shoots take place here, but also lots of celebrities decided to spend their holidays here. Another interesting fact is that, of course, we all know Naples and the area for its pizza, but this area is also one of the highest concentration of Michelin star restaurants of the whole country. So, you know, not only like traditional cuisine, but also, you know, something that has been reinterpreted and something more high-end. So also to give like a good variety in the program as well. Few tips from our side. To enjoy fully the destination, we always recommend to travel between March and November, mainly, you know, for the weather conditions. Something to bear in mind is that, of course, it's also a very popular destination for leisure.
Wedding business.
Yes, so going from May till September. So when selecting the travel dates is something to keep in mind, of course. From a logistical point of view, because of the roads that can be quite tiny and narrow, the best means of transportation are either cars or minivans or boats. So for larger coaches, some areas can be restricted, the access can be restricted. And, you know, for this reason, we always recommend our guests to accommodate in Sorrento, because as you can see from this map, Sorrento is highlighted in red. It's sort of halfway between all the interesting parts that we're gonna see in the programs later on. Sorrento is about an hour and a half drive from Napoli airport, and it's a good starting point, you know, to explore the part of Amalfi coast that is further south. So with Positano, Amalfi, and Ravello, we can take the boat or the ferry going straight to Capri, and also, you know, it's sort of it's also good starting point for the Pompeii and Herculano excavation. Here we created like a quick overview of the day-by-day program that we put together for this introduction. Here it's based on a 4 days, 3 nights program, but it can also be tailored on a 2 nights, 3 days program. There's no problem at all. So just quickly going through it, because we will see it in greater details later. First day we arrive at Napoli airport. We go straight away to a pizza experience. The afternoon is dedicated to the discovery of Naples, either overground or underground. Then we drive to Sorrento. We have a typical Sorrento night under a citrus grove. Day 2 is dedicated to the discovery of the Amalfi coast by self-driving cars. We will have a couple of gourmet stops in Ravello and Amalfi. The evening will be a farm festival style in a local farmhouse close to Sorrento. Day 3 is dedicated to Capri, so a little bit of sailing, a little bit of island discovery by Vespa, and with a little focus on the famous perfumes of the island. The evening is back on the mainland, so it will be like a proper gala in one of the villas of the area. Day 4, it's dedicated instead to a little bit more culture, so an interactive visit of the Pompeii excavation on our way back to Napoli, followed by a farewell lunch in a Pompeii vineyard, and then, you know, time to go back to the airport. Sorry, I keep having, okay. So to start with, we put together a few hotels that we feel we can recommend in Sorrento. Apart from its location, we recommend Sorrento because it has quite a good variety of hotels to choose from, ranging from 5-star, 4 stars, different capacities as well. So this one that you see here, the Grand Hotel Excelsior Victoria, is in an historical villa. As you can see from the picture, you can expect marbles, you can expect fresco ceilings. It is located directly in the city center of Sorrento, and it's on top of the harbor. So it's on a cliff, diving directly on the harbor, and there is an elevator to reach the harbor and the local beach there. It's also surrounded by a very nice park. So it's a good compromise for those who wish to accommodate in the city center. Another one that you see quite different in style is Parco dei Principi. It's a little bit further away from the city center, and it's, as you can see, it has this white and blue color palette. It's quite designed because it was thanks to the hand of the architect Joe Ponti. So more, let's say, a little bit more fresh than the previous one. But totally in line with the surrounding atmosphere. The third one is Grand Hotel Capodimonte. It's a 4-star. This one is located on the mountain just behind the town of Sorrento. It's built on a sort of terrace with nice swimming pools around. There is a park as well, beautiful views of the bay of Sorrento and of the Vesuvio as well. So a good compromise as well. So to go back to the program, so day 1, as we said, is dedicated to Naples. So after the arrival of the airport, we will go straight to our pizza experience. So as we said, pizza is of course the most famous product of the area probably. So the group here will have the possibility to try their hand making pizza. We will have a performance of the acrobatic pizza maker that you can see, for instance, pictured at the top here. And we can also tailor it in a way that it's more like a competition. So we can have one of the pizza maker to act as a judge and kind of define the best team at the end, or otherwise something more casual and informal to just basically prepare the lunch that is gonna follow afterwards. After lunch, we will discover the city of Naples, because as most of you probably have these ideas as well, Naples is always considered a little bit, chaotic, even dangerous sometimes. But, if we look a little bit behind, the graffiti and the chaos and the traffic, there are really some hidden gems. So Naples used to be the seat of the monarchy back in the days, so you can find lots of royal palaces, for instance, and lots of beautiful views on the sea. There is a really nice walk along the sea. So our guides will take us to this sort of hidden spot to enjoy this city that we like to call Italian likely masterpiece, because it's something that people don't, if they put it together with Rome, something totally different. So let's discover something that goes behind this rugged kind of vibe that the city has. In alternative, for those guests that maybe have already been to Naples, we can also think of this underground Naples tour, because you can understand quite a lot of the city even looking at its underground. So there is this series of tunnels about 40 meters underground that kind of show what happened to the city from its foundation about 2,400 years ago till very modern history such as World War II. Quite interestingly, there is also wine that is typical of the area that is left in these tunnels to age. That is called Tufello, that takes the name from the tough stone that makes the tunnels, and we will have the opportunity to taste it as well at the end of the tour. After the visit of Naples, we will move towards Sorrento. As we said, it's about an hour and a half drive. We will check in at the hotel and get ready for the night that will be in a totally Sorrento fashion. So under a citrus grove, you will see later that we will talk about a lot of lemons, because of course it's one of the masterpieces of the area. So we selected this particular restaurant that can also take very big groups as well. It's called O Parrocchiano. It's also an historical restaurant, and the owners claim that the cannelloni that you see pictured here at the top, that is a sort of lasagna, was born here in 1860. So there's something they are very proud of. So this is day one. Day two will be dedicated to the discovery of the rest of the coast. So we will take our cabrio car directly from the hotel in Sorrento and start our self-drive tour heading south. We will have a couple of gourmet stops along the way. So the first one will be in Ravello, and it will be all about mozzarella. That we also like to call white gold. So we will visit this family-run historical business of the area, and the owners here will show us how how the process works from the milk till the finished product. And we will actually be able even to taste the freshly made mozzarella while it's still warm, so directly from the hands of the producers here. We will then move forward with our driving to Amalfi to enjoy our lunch on a terrace in the historical center, overlooking the bay of Amalfi. Of course, it will be a fish-based lunch with a special attention for the products of the area. The afternoon will be dedicated to the discovery of course, the lemon of Amalfi. Here we have this lovely guy called Arturo that has been running, well, his family has been running the business now for many years. So we will walk through the citrus terraces, a little bit like the peasants used to do back in the days. To kind of explore, you know, a little bit the special variety of lemon that is produced here, that is called Sfusato, that has also gained the recognition of protected European geographical indication. So after the walk in the vegetation in the grove, we will taste some lemon-based products. I'm talking limoncello, I'm talking lemonade, lemon cake, lemon jam, and so on. So, and also we will also have the opportunity to chat a little bit informally with these guys here. After the experience, we will head back to the hotel in Sorrento to get ready for the night that will be spent in this farmhouse not too far from Sorrento. Here, the focus is all about kilometer zero products. So we will enter the estate, we will see olive trees, we will see lemon trees, we will see vineyards. So a lot of the things that a lot of the food that we will enjoy during the evening is actually coming directly from the estate. Here you need to imagine like a very informal and lively evening. We will have live food stations, so there will be a live gnocchi making station, we will have a live barbecue station, we will have live mozzarella cheese stations, so you know the guests will be able to roam around freely and try whatever they please. We can also have a tarantella music show with the performers, so you see here the typical dresses, so you know even the guests will be welcomed to kind of dance as well if they want. So a very informal and a little bit folkloristic sort of night. Day 3, we talk about Capri, the Islands of Stars. We will set sail from Sorrento, and the morning will be spent on the boat exploring the surroundings of the islands. For instance, the Blue Grotto, that is one of the most famous grottos of the area that you see in the picture here at the top, with this crystal clear water, or the Faraglioni, that are these rocks at the bottom here, that are very famous. I'm sure you've seen it in a lot of pictures of the area. So here we thought of a little bit of sailing and chilling. We will also have, if you're lucky, we will see also some dolphins, but otherwise it can also be arranged as a simple one-way transfer by boat or by public ferry from Sorrento going to Capri. The lunch will take place at this beach club that has a Michelin star restaurant called Il Riccio. Il Riccio means sea urchins in Italian, and you know the name is because the most famous dish of this restaurant, that the chef is most famous for, is actually spaghetti with sea urchins. So it's something that we really recommend. So you see also here very marine sort of feel. You see here the beach club is directly on a cliff, so very nice, very nice atmosphere, very summery and very fresh. In the afternoon, we will explore the zigzag streets of the island. There are 2 main towns on the island, Capri and Anacapri. So we will roam around them. We will try to spot some celebrities and you know, find some hidden squares, or maybe stop for an espresso in truly Italian fashion. So an informal afternoon to kind of immerse ourselves in the local atmosphere, in the nature. A nice thing that can be done in Capri is the discovery of why Capri is so famous for its fragrances and perfumes. So we thought of a stop at Cartusia, that is an historical business of the area, where it's possible to create a personalized fragrance that the guest can take home. So as a souvenir as well. And it actually has a really lovely story behind it, because the legend has it that back in the 1380, the prior of Capri kind of found out at the last moment that the Queen of Naples, Giovanna d'Angio, was coming for a visit. So he didn't know exactly how to prepare, so he decided to go around the island and pick the best flowers. He put them in water, and after a few days, when he was about to throw them out, he realized that the flowers had left a very special scent in the water. So the legend has it that this type of water was actually the first fragrance that was created on the island, and from them, the tradition sort of developed and became famous for this reason. So after our little perfume experience, we will take the boat back to Sorrento to get ready for the gala night. The area is quite famous for its numbers of villas, because the rich families of Naples used to come for holidays in this part. So you can find lots of very elegant villas here. For instance, here this one is called Villa Angelina. It has an amazing garden and is overlooking the island of Capri. There is a possibility to arrange dinner outdoor, but of course there is also an indoor space for backup. And so perfect for a more elegant and chic night. Day 4 will be a little bit more culture. So we will check out from the hotel and slowly start heading back to Naples. We will stop on the way at Pompeii, but this will not just be like a normal, a regular sort of visit of the excavation, but it will be more interactive. So, the guests will be given maps. They will find dress-up characters along the way that give little stories, speeches, and hints about where the guests can spot, the most unexpected little secrets. And also this activity can be tailored in a more competitive sort of way. So with a judge that at the end is going to define the winning team, or otherwise a little bit more casual and explorative. So after the activity, we will have our farewell lunch on the vineyard overlooking the Pompeii excavation. It's quite striking because people normally don't expect to see such a lush vegetation right beside something that was basically run over the lava and the volcano centuries ago. But still, we will visit the cellars, we will visit the vineyards. We will, of course, have a wine tasting of what is produced here, and finish off with a lunch of local specialties in time to go then back to Napoli airport. To finish off, this is it in terms of program. We thought of finishing up with a few gift ideas. So we talked so much about lemons that, of course, the most famous thing that you can think of for in terms of gift is a bottle of limoncello, maybe with a pair of glasses that can be branded with a company logo. This area is also quite famous for hand painted ceramic, so we can think of objects with company colors. Sorrento is also quite famous for handmade leather sandals, so maybe for a lady it's something to keep in mind. And then, of course, what we saw before for the personalized perfumes of Cartusia in Capri. So this is it, like a little bit like we did the other time. We are leaving you as well with another recipe. This one is gonna take a little bit longer because limoncello needs to rest for about a month. But you know, if you decide to prepare it, then you know you should be ready to pair it with the one that you will see when you come to the Amalfi Coast. So I think this is it from my side. I hope you found it useful as a quick overview introduction of the destination. If you have any questions, I'll try my best to answer them. I will be sending you the slides just in case you need them in the future. And you know, if you have anything, you're always more than welcome to drop me an email also later on.
Great. Thank you very much, Elisa, for this presentation and for giving us some inspiration and making us, or at least making me, to go to the Amalfi Coast right now in this moment.
We will all wish we could be there, I think.
And have a sip of limoncello and eating all these lovely things. So I don't know if there are some questions left from you guys. So if you have questions, just feel free to unmute your microphones or to use the chat function at the very end, at the bottom of the screen. If you scroll down, you can type in your questions into the chat box or just ask your questions right now, but don't mute the microphones.
Yes, I have a question, Michelle.
Yeah, hi Michelle, go ahead.
Hi, I was wondering if at some of the excursions you actually wrote it's for up to 25 persons, like especially on Capri. So will it be difficult with the group of more persons, like 30, 40 persons?
Bear in mind that, you know, when I wrote that, I consider, you know, at a time. So sometimes what we do for bigger group is that, you know, we alternate the activities, because for instance in Capri there is a limited amount of Vespas. So maybe, you know, a part of the group will do the Vespa in the morning and the other one in the afternoon. So, you know, we can sort of switch the activities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So I think that's the easiest way to do it, really.
All right. Well, that's it actually.
But these are just some ideas, because, you know, we did a program, I think, last October, and we had about 100 people. So that was more concentrated in Sorrento area. So these activities are just some general ideas. Then, of course, depending on the group size, we will do like an ad hoc program that works well. But in general, you know, if you really want to do that special activities, we can make it happen with the swapping the groups.
So can you say Capri is getting difficult if you have a group of, like, I don't know, maybe 40 persons, or what would you say?
No, I think 40 is still okay.
Still okay.
I think, you know, with swapping the two groups, so for instance, I mean, if we decide to do the sailing, that's fine, because on the boat we can feed them all. That's fine. I'm talking more about, for instance, even the perfume activity or the Vespa. Yes. Then, you know, it's better to do it in smaller groups. Also because you need to consider that the spaces are quite tiny. So sometimes having like 40 people all together, it's a little bit tricky.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Michelle, for this question. Is there anything else that you want to know? Aida or Steffi, probably, or Carol?
Maybe what is the maximum capacity, or let's say, is it, no, not maximum, sorry, the Fiat 500, is it self-drive and the Vespa too?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
Okay, it's self-drive. The Fiat 500 is it actually is for 4, but the seats at the back are very narrow.
Yeah.
So, you know, we normally recommend to have it just for 2 people.
And what is the maximum capacity you prefer for Fiat 500 and Vespa? How many Fiats can you offer?
Well, I think for vintage cars, it's a good number is like 20 cars. because also in that, also for that one, you need to consider that, you know, having more than that, it gets a little bit complicated to handle. So I think a good number is about 20 cars.
20 cars, okay.
And same for Vespas, more or less. Also, some of the Vespas can be ride with 2 people.
Okay.
So that's also makes helps quite a lot. Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Elisa, I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you mentioned that because I was a bit sidetracked here, but is there anything, how is the winter there? Is everything open during the winter months as well?
No, not really. Also because, you know, during the winter, you wouldn't be able to enjoy the outdoor part that, you know, it's really a big chunk of the program. So that's why I put, you know, starting from March, because then you have like nice spring weather till November. Then I wouldn't, unless you go to Naples, because that's a city, and you know, that's another story. So that's fine also for winter. But normally for the Amalfi Coast, I would say from March till November, and some hotels do close for maybe a couple of months in the winter as well.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thanks.
Good.
Okay, great. I think there was one question in the chat, but that was answered already.
Yeah, self-drive.
The Vespa and Fiat. Okay, great.
And what about the restaurant capacities? What is the best group size to get a nice, to get nice offers from different restaurants? What do you think? Is it better for 40 bucks, 60 bucks? Or is it a challenge for 100, finding something nice?
No, in Sorrento area in general, there are quite a few nice alternatives also for a large group of 100, 150. Then in the other parts, so if I'm talking more about Amalfi, Ravello and all that, I would see that more for smaller groups. So in general, what we tend to do for larger groups, we see it more happening in Sorrento area. Instead, for more boutique kind of VIP small groups, then definitely Amalfi Coast, plenty of opportunities.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Good. Elisa, I was not sure if you mentioned the driving time, the distances from the airport of Napoli to Sorrento.
Yeah, it's about an hour and a half.
Okay, well, that's okay. That's not too much. And is there some nice stops on the way or that we can use?
Yeah, I mean, you know, like what we are doing on the way back, for instance, in this program is stopping in Pompeii, for instance, that is exactly halfway through. So that's quite the highlight. Or we did also, you know, in other programs, we did one stop in a local farmhouse. So again, it's more food related in a way, going more towards the Sorrento area. Yeah, we're kind of forced to do that particular road because, you know, that would be the main one and the larger one. But you know, it's quite a nice route. Apart from the first bit that it's motorway, so not that exciting. But afterwards, it's quite nice.
But Elisa, can you not do one-way transfer by boat, or is it too far?
Yeah, I mean, you could. It always depends on the budget, you know, because I think that, you know, that area, it's really great to do it by boat, to be honest. I wouldn't necessarily do the transfer from Naples to Sorrento by boat because that would be, I mean, it's not that exciting, but, you know, to discover the rest of the coast, so from Sorrento to Amalfi, Positano and all that, you know, doing it by boat is really great. For sure, because you see everything from the boat and it's a totally different atmosphere. But, you know, it's always about the budget, unfortunately.
But how long would it take?
Well, if you do the excursion, then, you know, it can be like a full day out easily. Then, you know, depending on how much time we have and how much money we have, you know, we can tailor the itinerary, but it can be half day, it can be full day, easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I think there are no more questions at the moment. So you, Elisa, you're gonna send the presentation anyway and recorded version. So in case some questions show up or pop up a little bit later,
Absolutely. Please feel free.
Get in touch with Elisa directly or with us at STR Promise, and we are happy to answer your questions anyway. And yeah, I think let's come to the end, don't we?
Yeah. So thanks a lot, everyone, once again.
Thank you, Elisa.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sharing that. And we are actually
Thank you so much.
in the summer period, so there are no more webinars from our side at the moment. We're gonna rest a little bit, hopefully in autumn time when the business comes back. All the requests come back as well, so we're looking forward to assist you. And in case any one of you needs some special help, please let us know. Give us a call. We are happy to talk to you and to create some great events with you together and Elisa and her team.
Yeah, I agree.
Great. So enjoy your summer.
Thanks a lot. Have a good summer, everyone.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.